Afternoon, people. And I tell you what, if Carlsberg did away performances, this would be it.
You're on mute, bro.
Oh, look. Sorry about that. Technical. It's live. Lost everything there. Listen. Oh my God. Well, welcome to the Armory. It's me back for first time for a long time. But yeah, listen. Oh, what's going on here?
It's live. It's live.
Wow. Okay. The technical gods are kind of giving it to me today.
There had to be one hiccup today because that game it was just all too smooth in it. So
Way
the
too.
hiccup happens here.
Hold on 1 second. I don't know what's going on. 1 minute. 1 minute. I think it will all come together in the end. I think. Okay. So, can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a slight delay, I think, but
okay,
all right.
I think hopefully it will all come together in the end. But listen, a great win, 3 points, 3 goals, superb performances, and listen, let's get straight into it. Gums, I'm going to start with you. Really, looking on the team, the first 11, was you happy with it?
Obviously, seeing Odegaard out did catch me off guard. 'Cause I wasn't expecting that one. And obviously no Smith Rowe, so it was kind of Vieira was the correct choice. I was surprised not to see Tomiyasu. We all spoke about on the stream before. We thought maybe he might go Tomiyasu, but he stuck with Ben White. I'm not sure what's happened with Canis. He's disappeared, but it's me and you, Brenny. We carry on. But yeah, so we're surprised that maybe them two, but it made sense. Apart from that, and again, I think looking at the bench and seeing them young boys on there was a real shock. He's back. Count as you alive and kicking.
I think so. I'm trying.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
All right. Here we go.
Perfect. But yeah, no. Apart from the Odegaard thing, that was, and then seeing a 15-year-old on a bench, it was kind of like, yeah, where did that come from? Do you know what I mean? So, but apart from that, yeah, it was, yeah. Again, I think the only thing we spoke about before was maybe Tomiyasu. Obviously, there's no Sinchenko at all in the squad. Not sure what's happened with him either, but yeah, with what we had, that was the 11 I would have gone with, if I'm honest.
No, I completely agree. I think I'm lagging a bit. I think my computer's, that mouse is running. I think I need to feed him some more. I think I'll probably starving him. But no, listen, I think the game went according to plan. In regards to what Arteta wanted to do, and that was first and foremost, stifle the home crowd. Straight from the off, Brenny, we could have scored. It was just absolute control, and Martinelli, barring a slip, would have put us 1-0 up in like 30 seconds, right?
Well, yeah, 100%. I thought, yeah, that was it, 1-0, and then we could take it from there. But you know how it is at Arsenal. We always do things the hard way. But today, I didn't think that was the case. But yeah, we started off so well, and I was thinking my 2-1 prediction. I thought, you know what, it could be some goals in this today, and yeah. I was actually happy with the starting 11 because I said Partey wouldn't. I didn't think Partey would start, but I was so glad he did.
Do you know what? I think, yeah, I echo that. And I think the control he gave us was missing or lacking in that game at Old Trafford. It's amazing what a player with so much confidence and gives himself so much time on the ball and picks the right options 9 times out of 10 makes to your team. It will be so hard to pick a man in a match in this particular game, because such were the level of performances of the players. You could argue that Saliba, could be man in the match because of the way he dealt with Tony, etc. You could argue Partey was man in the match because he created a difference. They gave it to Jesus because he was lively all the time. But then then you can even think of Xhaka.
Yeah.
He was right. I see a couple of comments there saying that it's total domination. So, but it was great though. The first goal came at set piece, which we love to see from the old Arsenal, and it was a great header. Gumza talk me through that, man. I mean, the movement, the delivery, everything was just absolute.
Yeah, it was on the money. I think it caught them off guard. And it is a really good finish. Do you know what I mean? It's not the easiest of headers to execute. So, do you know what I mean? He got a good connection on it. Didn't try and do too much with it. Again, was he going for goal? Was he just trying to put that into the back post? You never know. Do you know what I mean? But he got the rubber, the green. It hit the post at a nice angle. Keepers tried to scramble to get it off. But yeah, it was a good goal. And yeah, I think the ball from Saka as well is a very good cross in. Because again, he has kind of picked him out. You see by Saliba's run, that's on the training ground. And again, you never know if he's gone to flick it to the back post, but the ball into him and his movement to get in front of Tony was definitely worked on in the training ground. So great way to start. And again, we silenced the crowd anyway, but that then just took the stuffing out of him.
Oh, absolutely. And then the from that, silencing the crowd, dominating, and looking absolutely comfortable. But there's always that kind of this is Arsenal. It's only one goal. It'd just be so Arsenal to kind of be in absolute total control and give the team a goal for them to come back and make it 1-1, get the crowd back up and so on. But we didn't do that. A beautiful move. Then finished with a delicious ball by Xhaka. And the finish, Brenny, I mean, that's all centre forwards. That's straight from the coaching manual. You head the ball back where it came from, gave the keeper no chance. Even though, he got a hand to it, he had no chance of stopping that. Tell me about that. That's a true centre forwards goal, right, Brenny?
It is. And being a centre forward as well, back in the day, I mean, I've never had a ball like that because it's normally feet to feet, or I had to beat the last man. But that was beautiful. You know what I mean? It wasn't just about the header. It was the ball. That's what did it for me. It was like, what delivery.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it was, greatly appreciated by Jesus in the end, where he actually knelt down and told him to put his left foot on his knee, and he did the whole shoe shine thing on his left foot. I mean, such was the delivery. Brenny, give me a little bit about, I think it wasn't really mentioned that much that Xhaka was actually captain today. And I think he put in a captain's performance. I think everything that, even I heard this fan singing his name. It's a complete 180 really from Xhaka's perspective. Is he now grown in your opinion?
For me, yeah, he has. And you know what? At the end of the day, right? We just want anyone who puts on that shirt. We just want them to prove us wrong, regardless of what's happened in the past. And for me, he's well on the way to that. I think for me, it was his best performance this season. He has performed well in other games, but I just think today, I actually thought for me, he was my man in the match. I mean, forget the silly yellow card, but I thought he did.
That wound me up. That wound me up.
Did it? I wasn't mad at it.
No, did you know what though? Because listen, there wasn't any danger. We had so many men back. But it just, do you know what came into my mind? The first thing that came to my mind was, he's going to do a silly tackle and boom, he's going to get, 2 yellows, boom, red off.
The reason I weren't mad at it, he can't see what's developing behind him. And in that instant, Brentford are a counter-attacking team. They play with two quite high up. So in that split second, it was damage limitation. If he pings that ball and they go, they have got quick strikers as well. And we can see, look what they've done to United on the counter-attack. So I'm not really mad at it because he was able to stay disciplined for the rest of the game. And sometimes it's those moments, yes and no. Like if it went the wrong way, then we'd be going like, what a crazy decision. But we look back at it, and actually, if he doesn't take the foul there and they counter attack and score, it's 2-1. And all of a sudden, it's like, why don't you just stop the play high at the pitch? So sometimes you have to make those decisions at certain times. You take one for the team. It didn't cost him anything. Yes, later on in the season, he may get a 1-game suspension if he gets 10 yellow cards, but he's not going to be anyone in the Arsenal team who's going to end up with 10 yellow cards. Do you know what I mean? So
do you get a game suspension? Isn't it? Is it after 5 yellows?
Yeah, but I think there's points where if you don't get to 5 before a certain point, then it moves on to like 8 or something like that. So he will get a suspension in the season, and there's no doubt about it because he is the aggressor out of the two centre midfielders. Do you know what I mean? Partey is more there to kind of fill the holes and dictate. He is there. He should be the one that makes more tackles higher up the pitch. Yeah. So he will get a suspension. But again, these are the street smarts. We see City do it for countless years and win Premier Leagues doing it. And Klopp in interviews talks about these things before. Do you know what I mean? Before Man City play Liverpool, Klopp comes out and says, "Oh, I hope the referee stamps out these silly little fouls City give away and blah blah blah." Because City are renowned for stopping the ball high up. If you're going to counter on us, actually, we're going to stop the play here. And you look at what United did to us the other day. We allowed them to counter on us, and they hurt us. So I'm not mad at it. It was early.
The team's ever evolving and learning, right? These little things that we're doing, and you're pointing out, and it's absolutely correct.
But we also remember Jesus did one as well, right at the end. You could see his legs were tired, and he thought, "I'm not tracking you in there. Just take the foul." And again, another day he might just let him run past, and all of a sudden now it's
actually. I've got a question. Who do we have after Tottenham in the league?
Is it Leeds?
Liverpool, isn't it?
It might be Liverpool and Leeds or something like that.
Liverpool home in the league.
Because Jesus has a tendency to.
I was thinking this,
and he's got 4.
Yeah,
and no doubt he'll probably pick one up against Tottenham.
I was thinking the same.
The way he plays, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. So
we need him for games.
Yeah, 5 or 10 or 8.
I think the first you get a game ban once you reach 5.
Yeah.
But all those in the comments, please correct me if I'm.
So I've just gone on Google. It's 5 yellow cards accumulated before match week 19 results in a 1-match ban.
Yeah.
10 yellow cards accumulated by match week 32 will result in a 2-match ban.
That could be dodgy, man. That's the thing. So I mean, if you can wrangle it that we, he might be. See, you don't want him to take anything away from his game. Do you know what I'm saying?
No.
So listen, I guess if it happens, it happens, and we're just gonna have to deal with it if the game he does miss against Liverpool. But that would just be so spawny for Liverpool, wouldn't it?
Oh God, yeah.
Oh God. But I'm gonna come on to the third goal because the third goal was just like
no, we ain't dissected that second goal yet.
Okay. Come on and talk to me, because I know because it was a thing of beauty. To be fair,
no, do you know what it is? Because we only kind of talk from a certain point. We had the ball for a long time.
I know.
I am going to rewind it, watch it back, and kind of see how many passes.
Because I was just thinking,
we went forward, went backwards, and then came forward again, and we opened them up, and so as much as the ball was quality by Xhaka, like no denying it, do you know what I mean? He put it right on the money for him. Jesus still had a lot to do because he still had to generate the power on that header, and get good direction on it. But I should say, paid credit to the football we played in that game. And
absolutely, we did. Listen, we did that a couple of times where we actually did. I think also with Saka, where Saka had the shot where the keeper saved it. That move as well, because that move it was playing some lovely, and they couldn't get near us. Absolutely couldn't get near us.
And the third goal was exactly the same because we went forward and came back, and then Saliba obviously done the turn to then open the pitch up. And again, it wasn't a case of we won the ball back and went. No, we went forward, came backwards, and went again without them touching it. So I hope I might have to do it myself, but I hope someone does do the count on how many passes before those goals, because there was a lot of football being played.
Absolutely. Gumsy, can you do me a massive favor,
Go
because
on.
we've got loads of chats in there. Can you whiz through some of them for me, please?
Yeah, you have to put marks. I ain't got thing rights on this. I don't think.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Sorry.
No,
Yeah, I'm on my other laptop.
All good. So here we go.
Yeah, I agree with this. So Foot Moss is saying we were amazing. Jesus, Saka, Shaka, Saliba could all be man of the matches.
100%.
And
100%.
we said we're rubbing it in, bringing on a 15-year-old.
Hey,
Premier
at
League
the end,
record.
do you think the manager said something to Arteta? Because Arteta didn't. He was saying something to Arteta's ear in the end, and
Really?
Arteta didn't look happy. Maybe something on the lines like, "Don't take the piss like that."
That is a wind though, because I'm watching the game and I'm saying there's no way he's coming on. I would love for him to come on, but there's no way he's coming on. And when I saw him stripping, I was like, "Oh, Arteta's done it!" Like,
Yeah.
saying the game was.
Do you know what? That's
comfortable.
come from Ivan Toney.
Yeah. That bit of spice, but I think Gabriel put the tweet out as well. Gabriel put a nice kick in the park. The centre back Gabriel, he put it out today just now. So yeah, it was always going to happen. And Ivan Toney's probably going to kick himself for life for that, because every time you play them now, it's going to be
There's an extra
that
yard
incentive,
in what we want to do, isn't there?
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Prince of Maine, big up yourself, and he's saying what a win, made up. He's also said he hasn't seen an Arsenal performance like this in a long time, which is true. That, to me, I'm not sure what you two think, but that is probably the most professional game I've seen from Arsenal in
Complete.
years. Like
complete.
Yeah.
Absolutely complete. I can't think.
I think it's different. I like to see attacking football. Sorry to keep talking. I do like to see attacking football.
No.
But
please.
I would say I haven't seen really domination of a game like that since before Wenger. Because even under Wenger, we would still be going and trying to score 4, 5s, and 6s, which I would love to see that. But actually, when you look at overall performance, getting out of there unscathed, like Partey not really getting out of second gear, not over exhausting himself, like I haven't seen us control a game like that maybe since before Wenger, really and honestly. Like we've dominated games, but not to that extent. They played with 2 strikers and they didn't have a sniff. I think Ramsdale's made maybe 1 save, like towards the end. Like, it was.
But other than that, as you say, you know, they were saying how many shots they've had on target. And you know, really and truly, the only time I thought they were dangerous was from the free kick they got from where Martinelli blocked the guy going through. That was it.
I think it'd also be interesting to see how many touches they had in opposition box, in our box, how much possession they had in our defensive area, because they couldn't get out. Literally, they could not get out. Like, it would be interesting to see how much football was played in their half and how much was played in ours.
Absolutely, it would be good.
They couldn't get over the halfway line.
Yeah, listen, we need to actually start getting the stats together for these games because it would have been maybe on a break one of Gums' breakdowns. Maybe
it's been a while. It's been a
minute. It's been a minute. You know, just hint there. We'll leave that little comment there. Cheers, Mr. Silver Fox, for that one. Technicals there. It's been killing me all. So apologies, you know, if the stream has not been as expected. It's there's something going on with the internet on my side, so apologies. So let's. It's true, Footmoss. We was good. Some of the chants as well that the fans were singing. We're going to get onto that third goal in a sec, but some of the chants that the fans were singing regarding how do you pronounce it? Nwanweri?
Nweri, something like that.
Nweri. Yeah. Going to school in the morning and all of that. It's just an absolute killer, man. Just that's enough to kind of totally deflate you and stuff. But let's go. Prince of Maine has just killed it, and it's true. Do you know what? Those two, you get those two, Tony and Mbeumo, if they get going, get the crowd up and stuff. And I think at one point the commentators got it absolutely correct. The work that we did, we just didn't allow the avenues of supply to them. We totally cut it off and strangled it. And yeah, it was so good because I think in the end it was like those two players who were their top two had the fewest touches.
Yeah.
And that's telling you something. That's
Uh,
big.
And they're not strikers like Haaland, are they? Where they're going to just play between the two posts and just want to do the last bit. Tony actively wants to get involved, and so does Mbeumo. He's going to run channels and try and bring people in. So to limit them, I think at one stage it was like they had 4 touches each, and it was like 30 minutes gone. That's probably unheard of for them to.
At home.
Mm.
You know, that's big. Mr. Silver Fox is saying that the Arsenal.com shortlist for man of the match is Saliba, Xhaka, Jesus, and Vieira. Barring the goal, all right, I'm going to be super critical here, okay? Barring the goal, I wasn't overly impressed with Vieira's contribution to the game. Fair enough, it's his debut. Maybe kind of, feeling a little bit kind of nervous, etc. I guess it's his Premier League debut. Brenny, I mean, I don't know. I might be being overcritical. Obviously, look, we'll dissect the goal, but his performance. What did you think of his performance overall?
Well, to be honest, we were controlling the game to a point where there wasn't a lot. There wasn't a lot he did anyway. For me, apart from that goal, I didn't really see him playing the number 10 as well as say Odegaard has done this season, because Odegaard, he's getting himself involved. Because Odegaard wants the ball. He likes to go forward as well. And at times Odegaard's been tracking back. Vieira, I didn't see a lot from him today, but that goal himself, the goal he scored, wow. I mean, that was a finish, but he did okay. It wasn't, it wasn't an outstanding performance today, but yeah.
Dumza? Because
Yeah,
I know
I'm in agreement. I think he was tidy. He didn't give away possession much. I think 1 or 2 times he could have maybe played a different pass. There's one he tried to feed Saka and he should have fed Martinelli when we kind of broke on him.
Yes. That
Yeah.
one was he chose totally the wrong
option.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I would say he was tidy. But again, Brentford do defend with a lot behind the ball, so there wasn't much pockets of space. So yeah, I don't think anyone played really. You could say worse than a 7.
No, I'm not saying, but yeah.
I think the big mistake on that shortlist is Bukayo Saka's not on there. For me, he's my man of the match today.
Tell me why, because I would say, okay, fair enough. He did nothing spectacular today.
No, but this is
what did he do?
So it's that element of, we spoke before the stream about Rico Henry and how good he is.
Yeah,
he couldn't get near him. He couldn't get near Saka. The amount of time Saka and again, it's not an easy role sometimes playing. We've seen Pepe struggle with Pepe receiving the ball back to goal and someone coming close to him. He used to always just go back to the right back. Saka's just coming in off that right flank and driving inside. And do you know what I mean? There's many times he tried to play the 1-2 with Jesus, and Jesus just didn't get the ball back to him correctly. He was a constant threat for me, Saka. Like, without, we're going to come away and say he got 2 assists because he gave the ball to Vieira and he done the corner. So he's got 2 assists without it being like them assists where you're saying it's an assist, but you ain't done nothing.
That's a proper assist. Yeah.
So he's got 2 assists, but I think all game he was a constant threat. And for me, he was my man in the match, because I think it's either him or Saliba for me. Like it's either one of them two.
Okay. You know what? That's why sometimes people like me, I need to kind of see, and hear opinions of those who are more versed at the technical aspects of the game. I mean, I get what you're saying, absolutely.
Yeah,
and with that, and I guess with that, Saka then kind of allows other people to do certain things which wouldn't happen if you had, as you say, the likes of Pepe or whoever coming off that right flank.
Yeah, like I know you lot played, and you lot played high level. Sorry, I think you're gone again, but it's that person who's going to transition you and get you playing forward, and that's why Partey is so important, because there was times where Sambi Lukonga picked up the ball in Partey's positions and just goes sideways or backwards sometimes, whereas Partey always gets you forward, and that's what Saka brings, which no one doesn't really talk about. It's that I'm going to take the risk, take the ball on the half turn and go forward, which brings you up the pitch. Do you know what I mean? And all three of us front three do it now. To be fair, Jesus spins a lot, and Nketiah tries to spin. Martinelli spins. So, but it's a skill which people don't realize is important, because if you have a bad touch and you come inside, you're getting killed by a midfielder or a centre back.
Killed,
Like it's,
clattered.
it's a risky one to take sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he does it really well. And straight away that puts the back line under pressure where they can't really commit. With Pepe, say give it to Pepe and I'll squeeze, and
Yeah.
then the ball goes back, and now you can start your press at that end. Whereas the Saka, you can't do it. If you get too close to him, he spins out the other way and just drops the shoulder and goes past you. So it's people, yeah, he might not do the fancy stuff, but actually just getting you 10 yards higher at the pitch makes a massive difference. And as a player, if I'm a right back, if I know the ball's going into Zaka and he's going to either beat a player or look after the ball, I know I can make my run off him. There's nothing worse as a right back than not knowing what the guy in front of you is going to do. And then also you make your run, he then loses it, and now you've got to track back 50 yards. Do you know what I mean?
That's horrible. Yeah.
It's those little things there which for me goes unnoticed with Saka's game, and I think he's unbelievable at it. And for me, he's
love
my
that.
man.
Did you know what? I love when people point out certain things that I don't see. And I'm gonna watch that even more so now. So no, I totally get what you're saying, 100%. Just quick one as well. Just Cole, he hosted the watch long of the game on the FTSN, our parent channel. Big up for that. It was amazing. Thank you very much for that. Princess of Maine is speaking regarding us with Vieira, saying that we're a bit harsh. We're not saying that he played bad, but you know, we're just saying that you know, sometimes during the game, maybe a little bit more of an influence, but hey, I don't think it was needed. But yeah, 100%. Don't care if you score a goal like that, and it was a great goal. And then with as you're alluding to there, Gumza, Saka with the 2 assists, and Silva one. I don't think Vieira was that bad. We never said he was bad. We you know, such was the level of certain players today and the team, the way it played. We're saying that Vieira probably played like a 7 or something like that. Such you know, such was the quality of the team today. Yeah, he didn't do anything overly. I don't think he did anything wrong. Nothing too flashy. Yeah, 100% deputized for Odegaard well enough, done a job. That's all you can ask for on a debut. Listen, you know, he was coming in, hoping, knowing that this will be a tough game, because I think he got clattered, didn't he? At one point during the game, it was welcome. That was one of those eraser kind of tackles. Well, welcome to the Premiership kind of tackles, and he responded to that well. He didn't, you know, hide. He didn't go into his shell, and as I said, you know, he come up with a solid performance in the end. And Mr. Fox saying there's definitely a star Vieira. He's 22. You know, so listen, he's again one of the younger guys in the squad. So I'm sure he'll be fine. Let's actually talk about the finish. Gums, I'm going to come to you with the finish.
I said the football before was beautiful, back and forth, open, but Saliba vital to it. And that's where we talk about press resistant players, because Brentford were in a good shape, and 9 times out of 10 that pass goes back to Ramsdale. But he took a chance and it paid off, and then all of a sudden you unsettled him because now there's an overload. Again, Saka gave it into him, and do you know what? He just didn't overhit it, and that was what was nice about it. He just almost caressed it from about 30 yards out. Like it was a great.
The keeper had no chance. That's the thing. You see it from behind the goal. The keeper actually had no chance. And there's one thing I guess I wanted to kind of mention. I'm guessing most of us have seen the whole All or Nothing documentary, and there's one thing that there is an absolute constant that Arteta says, and that is to be brave. You know, be brave when you're in possession of the ball. Be brave. Be brave. And Saliba was brave with what he did. As you said, 9 times out of 10, we're going back to Ramsdale, right? To play it safe, not taking chances. But by doing that, and as you rightly stated, it created the overlap, it created the space for that goal to actually happen. Brenny, how did you see it? I mean, it was a thing of beauty, as some say.
It was, and I thought, what Saliba did? I was like, what are you doing? And I thought, oh wow,
I was shaking my head at that point. I was saying, this guy.
But you know what it is though. It's like when I see Gabriel at the back, if he's in possession, and I'm like, okay, what are you doing here? But when I see Saliba, he's just so cool and calm as a cucumber. You know what I'm saying? He's like, yeah, he's so comfortable with the ball and he knows what he's doing. And he's the kind of person that if he's in possession 100 times, he'll probably only lose possession once in that area. But what he did in the build up to that goal was like, wow. But then the way it's just, and Saka was so cool, and the way he just laid it off to Vieira. It's like when Vieira placed that shot, and it's like he was looking to say, it's hit the post, man. It's probably gone out. And he it's like, oh wow, he surprised himself. You know what I mean? But it's just, you know what? It's what you just said about Mikel Arteta was spot on because to be brave, the ball, and it's like we've done that quite a few times this season where it's paying off right now. Not just in.
However, there is a caveat. There is a line to be drawn between being brave and being stupid.
Of course. Oh yeah,
do you know what I mean?
100%. But yeah, I thought what a finish. Haven't seen anything like that in a while, actually.
Yeah, no, it was lovely to see. And off the post, when it comes off the post, it always makes that goal a little bit better, doesn't it? So beautiful. So let's quickly let's go through the ratings, the player ratings. We'll start with yourself, Gumza, Ramsdale.
It's hard, isn't it? I'm going to give him a 7 because I think everything he had to do, he done well.
Yeah, there was one shot he saved, didn't he? Where it was quite important.
Well, I think there's 2 shots on target. I can't remember. The first one was in the first 5 minutes. I didn't think I saw it. I think I went to get a drink. Or actually, I think that was when I was walking in my house.
We're having a good game, man. When you can mid-game go off and get a drink,
have a little slurp. I think, and the kicking was good again. I have to give him a 7. I think it's not his fault why he doesn't get a higher rating, or do you know what I mean? He did nothing wrong as such. He didn't have much to do, but
clean sheet, really.
Clean sheet, orchestrates.
I'm so glad we got that clean sheet and we didn't concede against them. Okay, 7. We go right back. Ben White, Brenny.
I say 7. I thought he was tidy today. I thought he did well. There are times where it didn't matter who was on that our right hand side, their left. There were times where I saw Tony on that side. There was Justice Silva on that side. McBrennan was on that side, and I thought he dealt with whoever was there.
Yeah.
So very tidy.
Absolutely. I'll go then with Tierney, and I'd give Tierney a 7. Also solid. Nothing too spectacular. I think this is kind of like I think he's now in the team to do what he's always been told, been wanting to be able to do, nothing too fancy. I've always kind of thought in other teams he's been asked to do too much and then it's resulted in injuries and things like that. I think now he's playing to a point where, he knows his position and he's comfortable with that. He doesn't have to do too much overlapping. And
he's not trying that explosive stuff, is he?
Exactly. And I think it's a good thing. I mean, fair enough, it can come. But the only one thing I will say is that when Zinchenko comes back, I think Zinchenko comes back straight back in, to be honest. But hey, I'll give him a solid 7. Gumza, I'm going to go Saliba.
9.
Oof.
I think it's
straight off the bat.
Yeah, it's what he does on the ball, but also in the first 5 minutes, he went shoulder to shoulder with Tony, and he kind of let him know, you ain't bullying me. There was 1-2-3, he was straight in on him, bang, like no foul, but Tony's gone down, and it kind of just set the tempo to say, yeah, you might bully other centre backs, but not here. And
things you love to see, eh? Things you love to see.
And it's a different kind of job when you're playing against 2 up front because you constantly got to be aware where he is. Like, I mean, whichever one switches over, when they play with one striker, between the centre backs, one if you've got to look after him, one if you've got to sweep. When it's 2, you've got to do kind of both roles. You've got to make sure you're covered, and because you've got no one covering you, and I've never seen Ivan Toney that quiet. Like never ever have I seen him that quiet. I think Saliba was unbelievable today. So, and again, the testament of a good defender is when you don't really see what they're doing.
Yeah.
So I'm giving him a 9 today because we all had that down as a potential banana skin. And
100.
so comfortable.
All right. Wow. A 9. Brenny, we're gonna go Gabriel for you.
I'm gonna give him 7. I thought he was okay today, but he did worry me, especially when he went down. With his right thigh, wasn't it? And
His
even
calf, his right calf. He felt it, I think, in the warm up, I believe.
Yeah.
They showed a little clip, didn't they?
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So that's why I thought when we were 3-0 up, I thought we're comfortable. I thought, okay, bring on Tommy now and let Ben White go centre half. That would have been the best thing. The game was done. The game was won. And so I just wish he had come off.
Well, he's got 12 days, 13 days now to the next game. So hopefully he's not been called up to Brazil. So good rest, recuperation, and physio working and getting ready for that game against the Spuds. So you're giving him a 7, a solid 7.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll go into midfield. I'll go Thomas Partey. I will give Partey. I'm going to give Partey an 8 because I think this is definitely the kind of game that you need a Thomas Partey in. Someone in the middle who, because look, listen, we're in amongst the three. They went, man for man for us in there, and I think their thing was to kind of, to pressure us, to put us under as much pressure as possible. And I think with him in the team, he gives us, I don't know, it always seems like we've got an extra yard. We've got extra kind of few seconds with him on the ball. And he does that, and it's brilliant. Fair enough, at the start, he was a little bit rusty, a bit wayward with some of his passing first off at the start, but he grew into the game. I thought, it was a good 80 minutes for him, and very good for his fitness. So let's hope that if he does go off to, I think both the games, I guess, for Ghana are in the UK, aren't they? I believe, or definitely, sure. Yeah, I think so. So hopefully he comes, through that unscathed, and he gets some more minutes, and he gets some more, and all he gets out of those games is more minutes and fitness, for that game against Tottenham. So I'm going to give him an 8 because I thought he was solid and something that we actually really missed. I'm going to go now for Xhaka, Gumza.
If you're giving Partey an 8, I've got to give Xhaka a 7. I get he got the assist, a great assist, but Partey. I was talking to someone the other day, and I said when Partey plays, and I know this is Xhaka's rating, but I just got to touch on Partey quickly.
Yeah,
it feels to me when Partey plays, we have 12 men, not 11.
Yeah,
and that's how important he is. There's 2 players on the pitch who, when they receive the ball, I'm saying I'm comfortable. Him and Saliba, like, you're saying when Gabriel gets it in the pressure, you think, when Partey gets it, it's just comforting, and it's so understated what he brings to that team. He takes so much pressure off everybody else.
100%.
So as much as people might not think he's doing much, actually he's doing more than anybody notices because he's always the one. Give it to me. If you're under pressure, just trust me. Just trust me. And as a young player, like, there's nothing better than having someone next to you, behind you, or in front of you, who's just going to take all the pressure off. So, yes, Xhaka might, again, it's the stuff up there looks brilliant when it comes off, but actually you can't take away from the foundation these guys at the back are building. And actually without them foundations, you wouldn't be able to do that stuff up higher at the pitch.
Exactly.
So me beating the press allows you guys space to go and influence the game up there. If I don't beat the press here, and that's what you find when Partey doesn't play, Odegaard games drops. The same as with Ozil. When Santi Cazorla played, Ozil's game went to another level because actually Cazorla's beating presses with pass and getting you playing. You've got space to operate. It's so important. Deep line position is the most important position, and like if you're playing this style of football, and I think what Partey does goes understated, and he's by far our best player, and most important player. Like he's unbelievable.
Yeah, I think there was a passage that there was a little period where, do you know when I can't remember what it was, but their player kind of like slipped and took him down.
Yeah, 2 of them
twice. Did you see what he was doing to all three of those players? Where he was just like
Cruyffing, dropping shoulders in and out. Like, yeah.
I was saying, stop that! Don't take. I was just thinking, I'm waiting for it because they all started to get mad. But it was so good to see someone drop a shoulder, drag back, push the ball through and get us playing again. And it was so good to see.
Yeah, so
you're getting a little bit of static here.
Yeah, I know Silver's on because I know people feel I have this agenda against Xhaka, and he did play well, but what he's doing doesn't overly impress me. Like, it's a great ball. Yes, he's making runs off the back, but he's not doing anything special to make me feel like, wow. Do you know what I mean? As I said, when Partey's doing what he's doing, that creates so much space, and it's a pressure role.
I think Xhaka. The thing is why I think we're so impressed right now with Xhaka is that Xhaka's doing a thing that he's supposed to be doing. Do you know what I'm saying? He's not doing the other parts of his game that are stupid and just gets you kind of like, for God's sake, what do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, a father's supposed to take care of their son. You're supposed to, you know what I mean? It's like you don't get a cookie for that. You just get a. That's what you're supposed to do.
Meant to do. Yeah, 100%, 100%. So yeah,
for
me, again, the position he's playing. I'm not saying, even if you look old Arsenal players, you're talking Ramsey had that kind of role where he was the midfielder who can push on. Do you know what I mean? If you're looking at Prem now, you're talking Gundogan, Bernardo Silva, De Bruyne, they get them roles. And
he's not on those levels.
Exactly. He's doing well. Let's not get twisted. He's doing well. He's the best in our team at this moment in time. But for what he's doing, I'm not saying he's. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you come out of a game and one of these midfielders have created 9 chances from that role, or So when he's doing that, I'll give him the 9s because that's now going beyond what I expect. From your position now, I expect what he's doing. So yeah, it's a 7 for me.
No.
Nothing negative about him.
Listen, man, this is all it's all. I think
it's all up for debate. It's all up for debate.
Exactly. So put your comments in the comment section and let's move on. Let's move on, Brenny. We could go Vieira for you.
Yeah. I know we already touched on it. For me, it was 7 today. Great goal today, but he did have a little part to play. But like Hamza said, I totally agree. There wasn't a lot of space for him to do what he wanted to do. I feel he'll get that opportunity if he starts against Tottenham and doesn't fit. Yeah. So it'll be fine. But 7 for today.
Cool. All right, I'm going to start off then with our front three, and I will go Martinelli. I think one of his quieter games. I think had he taken that chance in the first minute, within the first seconds of the game, he would have had a totally different game. But it didn't really come off for him today. I love his work rate. His work rate is, he's brought that into his game now, where he's becoming a more and more rounded player. I'm going to give him a 7. Again, the thing with him is that he's a constant threat, and that's the important thing, is that defenders can never rest on the laurels with him, because even when defenders are trying to push forward, the tracking back what he does is immense, and obviously going forward, going the other way, he's always going to cause you problems. So Martinelli 7, not his best game. He's had better, but no doubt he'll come after the international break refreshed and raring to go again. Gamza, Jesus.
I've a bit of a quieter one for him as well. Took his goal really well. I think second half.
I love that goal. I love that. Yeah. You know those Duncan Ferguson kind of like headers.
Even when he peeled off the back of him. Do you know what I mean? You watch Harry Kane do that a lot, don't you? Just so the goal was really good. But I just feel, again, Brentford have a lot of players back there. Yeah. So do you know what I mean? He's got 3 centre backs to contest with. So
he arguably could have had a hat trick,
Yeah, he did. Yeah, and he created them himself. Especially that last one, he robbed the guy. And let the shot off. But yeah, I think quite fit in terms of him, but I still would give him a 7.5, 8 today. I still think he was. But I think just other games you've seen him looking just in the game more, looking more of a threat, running at players a bit more. Do you know what I mean? So
I think you touched on the point as well with regards to when Saka was trying to bounced the ball off him kind of thing, and it wasn't really coming off for Jesus in the sense that it seemed to kept breaking down then. When Saka was playing the ball into him, and then when he's trying to just get the bounce, the wall pass off, it wasn't coming back to him and stuff. So I totally get that. Okay, and Brennan, going to come to you then for Saka.
Saka, from what I saw from him today, I would give him an 8. And that was not just the 2 assists. I thought every time he had the ball, he looked dangerous. He looked very, very comfortable on that right-hand side. And also, where there were times where you think, is he going to get bullied? Nah, man, he withstood to the challenge. It was hard. I thought at times it was hard to muscle him off the ball as well. And he gave as good as he got today because he's shown that he could fight as well. So, I'll give him an 8 today.
You're an 8? No, that's all right. That's all right. We're going to the subs. Who came on? We had Nketiah, Nweri, and who else was there? Tomiyasu and
Marquinhos.
And Marquinhos. I think, should we give them a blanket score because they didn't really have any time to kind of...
they didn't have time. Yeah, I agree.
I'd say 6 is all around, really, isn't it? Really, if you guys agree with that. Manager, we can all give this guy a score for obviously his tactics, team, etc., etc. I guess I'll go first with regards to what he, the players he had available. I think he picked the strongest team that he had. It's good. I'm glad he actually brought Partey back into the game. There might have been a case to have kept with Lokonga, but no, he went for it. And I guess that is a testament to how important Partey is to how he wants to play. Subs didn't really need to make any subs, and he really held his that back until what we're talking at 80-something minute really, when Nketiah first come on. So it just showed that he really wanted to kind of push home the advantage against this team and make sure right to the death we kept the foot on the throat kind of thing against them. So I'm going to give Arteta a 9 today. Gumza?
Yeah, I think I have to match your score. We spoke about on the stream the other day, didn't we, Brenny, about going into these games and playing the Arsenal way. It's very easy to look at Brentford fate. They played 2 up front, blah, blah, blah. Right, Odegaard's out. Right, let's put an extra centre back in and make it a 5. So you've got 3 centre backs marking 2 strikers. Again, it's easy if Odegaard's out as well because you naturally got to make a change in there. Is this too early for Vieira? There's no ESR, so it would be very easy to go to a 5 at the back, and try and almost match them. Do you know what I mean? To just try and protect against Tony and Mbeumo. So credit to him for going at it and just playing a normal formation. And we dominated the game. Again, I would love for us to sometimes score more goals, but at the same time, I think there's a fear going into this game after Tottenham won, City won. Do you know what I mean? I think Tony was saying in the group chat, we're going to lose. This is where Arsenal will slip up. So, and I think a big problem we had last year is when we got beat, we then got beat and beat and beat. Do you know what I mean? I think we lost back-to-back 4 times in a row. Sometimes it took us 3 or 4 games to then get a win again. So to actually bounce back straight away after the United defeat and put that to bed straight away is really important. And I think that is one of the tests which we were looking for this year. Is if we're going to get beat at some stage. When we do get beat, can we bounce straight back? And we've done that straight away. So for me, I think a 9. I would have liked to see some subs earlier though. Like again, just giving Marquinhos more of a run around. I would have liked to see it, and even Partey and Gabriel. Maybe he could have come off bit earlier, but apart from as long as there's no fresh injuries after that, then it was fine. Do you know what I mean?
I think with Partey, it was all about trying to give him as much minutes as possible for that game against Tottenham, maybe on the 1st of October, just to kind of get that in his legs, kind of thing. I think in normal circumstances he would have come off after like 70 minutes, but I think that might have been in their think, to nurse him. I think that might have been. in their thinking to get that in his
If
legs.
I'm honest, if I'm them, I'm calling the Ghana FA and saying, yeah, he picked up another knock. He ain't coming, boy. Like, you got to do it sometimes. If Fergie used to be the best for that. Fergie used to pull out injuries out of his. I don't even know where he pulled them out
Giggs
from.
never played for Wales, did he?
Not in them tune-up games. Never ever, mate. We're
Never
saying
played
here,
for
like,
Wales. Never.
yeah,
Oh
they got
my
to do
god.
something.
The
But
silver one's given Arteta 11. Flip sakes. God, blimey, 11. Wowzers. Brenny, Arteta, give us your score.
You know what? For me, I'm the same with you guys. 9 as well. The only thing we was missing today was more goals. I thought he picked the right 11. When I saw Ben White was starting ahead of Tommy, I was a little surprised. But then I thought to myself, but you know what? Ben White's been performing there all season, and you can't take that away from him. I know he'd rather prefer to play centre half, but then again, when you're playing for the Arsenal, you don't mind where you play. So yeah, 9 for me.
No. I think he got everything. As I said at the top, man. If Carlsberg did the away performances, man, that would be right up there, right? So I think we did everything that we're supposed to have done. And
can I ask a question before we go quickly, Canners?
Yeah, man.
So I've said it a few times. I think it was after the Sevilla match, after the Chelsea match in pre-season, after Palace. I've mentioned it a few times. Leicester. Are teams that bad, or are we just that good at the moment? And I'm going to bring it to this game now because I keep saying I can't say it's Arsenal being that good. Maybe it's the teams that's had an off game. Brentford don't.
I know what you mean.
Brentford don't do off games. If you beat Brentford, you're still in a battle. That Brentford team, that looked like a team that shouldn't be in the Premiership. And I don't know if it's Brentford had an off game or if Arsenal just stifled them. And I don't want to answer it say it's Arsenal. I don't want to get that confident yet. But
gassed.
It's all too often now I'm seeing when we beat these teams, we're beating them. Like Villa was the same, but we just didn't score enough, and then we let them come back in. Fulham
I know what you're saying.
We are dominating games. Like,
yeah.
And have you ever seen Brentford be that poor since they've come up?
Listen, I think they even had the record books. I think it was back in 2014 had they been beaten so heavily at home.
Yeah, and not even a scoreline because I saw Tottenham beat Leicester 6-3 yesterday or 6-2 and didn't deserve to win that game. Like for 70 minutes, Leicester were by far the better team.
Yeah.
And that silly goal they conceded with Ndidi, and then obviously Son come on and done what Son can do.
Yeah.
But so the scoreline's emphatic, but they wasn't the better team. But so take the scoreline away from that. Have you seen Brentford look that bad ever since they've come to the
because of listen, before we played them today, they've only lost the one game. So they've only lost and they've played United. They've played had a couple of different Fulham's that's the game they lost. Okay, and Fulham are actually ask Liverpool how good Fulham are.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So listen, Brentford will cause teams heck of trouble at their ground. Arts United, they got slapped there. I don't care if they say they're in transition or whatever, but to get slapped, for, to get 4 against United, I mean, there's no mean feat. So, are we that good? Do you know what the thing is? I think it's a case of us as fans. We don't want to get too carried away. We don't want to kind of go off the cliff and start saying that we're this great team, etc. But on the other hand, you have to wonder how we're playing against teams and what we're doing. We actually are like City, where we are strangling teams to death, right? And I think also the commentators touched on it is that you got to be on your game. You can't be making any mistakes, and that's all you can ask for, really. That in a sense that as soon as the other team make a mistake, either positionally or something on the ball, and that's what we're doing. We're strangling teams to make those little mistakes, to be in that opposition or whatever it is. We're there to pounce and to hopefully capitalize and score. Something's going on with this team, and it's good to see. And that's all I can say is that, and everybody, when you go to the Emirates as well, you can notice something that's happening. That's not been there for a long time. There's an air of expectancy now. One thing also as well I want to touch on is that the media keeps trying to throw out challenges for us, or kind of like things saying that, first and foremost, okay, now you're playing a proper team, i.e. Man United, and then another one coming up saying that against Brentford, let's see how they deal with the physical side of things, but listen, man, we're answering questions. Fair enough, we might have dropped off against United. The other one was last year we lost the game, and then when Arteta got manager of the month, then we lost 3 games on the trot. We killed that one today because as soon as we lost, we lost the game. We went on a little run of losing games, as you said, Gumza, and we've quashed that now. And I don't know, man. It just seems like we're answering a lot of questions. I think the United game, sorry to kind of, I know I'm going on, but literally last thing, I think the United game was a learning curve for Arteta, and I don't think he knows the mistakes he made, and I don't think he'd be making them again. And it was good that it happened early in the season rather in February, March time.
But also, sorry, just speaking back on what you're saying, that United game, a lot goes for performance. This stage of the season, performance is probably as important as the result sometimes. And from what I've seen of this Arsenal team, we went to Old Trafford and we dominated the game again. And you could take a lot of positives out of that. Yes, there's some negatives. Yes, we've been beaten by United again the same way we get beat by United on the counter-attack. But it's a lot easier to set up your team defensively than to impose a style of play and play attacking football. So we've seen Arteta can do that. He took that Arsenal team and won the FA Cup playing Chelsea and City along the way. So it's very easy sometimes going into a game think, right, we need to defend like this, blah, 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 and if we can nick something, we can. And what United have got, they've got great pace to hurt you on the counter. The long-term plan is difficult to impose this style we're playing now, and there's something there. Like, it's again, we made United look bad. Yes, they beat us, but we dominated that game. The only game I can say we actually didn't really strangle and dominate was the Palace game. That was the only one where, and for half an hour we did. And then we kind of sat back and soaked it up, which is good to say we can win that way. But apart from that, yes, last season we would win games but not look pretty. Now we're dominating every game we played. Every game we played, we dominated. So it's
and creating good chances as well. That's the key thing. Do you remember last season that there was periods in the season where we didn't know where a goal was going to come from because we just wasn't creating at all. Brenny, would you like to answer?
Well, it's all good now because you know what? I just think we're a lot better than we were last season, and I think it's just what's impressed me is that there were some games last season where we would press opponents and we'd force them into mistakes. We didn't do that enough last season. This season, there's been more energy in our play as well as the additions. And also, Gumza, do you remember, what was it, about a couple of months ago, I said, when the two of us were chatting, and I also said that if we get these players in early, if we did get these players in early, and they had a good pre-season, because we've not had that in years, I said, I wasn't bragging, but I said we'd win our first 4 league games. And it was no surprise that we did, even though we ended up winning 5 league games on the trot. So, but what gets me is that, you know what, I just ignore what media would say nowadays, because they're going to do it all the time. If we beat Spurs in a couple of weeks, they're probably going to say, well, the international break, players have come back. Harry Kane was on this game. There's going to be that, you know what I'm saying? There will be that. But at the end of the day, I do feel we're at home. I feel we can beat them. It won't be an easy game. But there's just something, the mentality. It's better than it was last season, And I'm just loving what I'm seeing. I actually think we are playing well this season. I think we're already a better side than we were last season.
We've definitely gone up a level.
We have.
Where would you rate us as a footballing team in the Premier League? So City have won a lot of games, but have had to really battle to get them wins. I know they've played different teams than we've played. Tottenham haven't been great and are winning, and that's what they've got. That forward line they've got, they're gonna kill teams. Do you know what I mean? As long as they don't concede, they've got 70% chance they're gonna win because one of them four will score a goal. But in terms of how Liverpool haven't been great, United haven't been, like. Would you say we're at probably the best footballing team at the moment? Like, not being big-headed. City, yes, we can see what they do, but I think teams are going to City thinking we can get something from these lot. I'm not getting teams looking at Arsenal that way at the moment. I feel teams are thinking it's a long day for us.
It's a long day. It's a difficult one, man, because the thing is you don't want to get too carried away. But the more you see it, the more you kind of see how we play, and the more you then think, oh, do you know what? It's not a fluke.
This is it.
You know, we're playing this way against every team, and we I hate going back to United again, but and I guess it's just a bone of contention for me. But we played them off the park.
Yeah.
You know, but listen, I'm sure now we're you know, we've learned from those mistakes. But yeah, we're playing exactly the same way and getting kind of those kind of, as long as we can remain solid at the back, I think we'll be in a good place.
Yeah.
So answer the question, where would you put us? If you're opposition team now, you're manager of
I was trying to get the
Everton.
politician.
You're manager of Everton. If you got one team not to play at the moment, you don't want to play. Where would you put Arsenal in that? If you say, right, 5 teams you don't want to play at the moment, like in order, where would you put Arsenal in that?
I'll put us second.
After City?
Yeah.
City, yeah.
What are you saying, Brenny?
I would say second after City as well. And then the third one probably be Liverpool.
Yeah, I think Liverpool got a problem, man. They're missing. They're realizing how much of a bad boy Mane was.
Yeah, they're missing him
big time.
Oh, they're missing him.
But yeah, listen. Oh my gosh. So as the interlull, as they call it, now is upon us. But yeah, listen, we obviously got the North London coming up in a couple of weeks, and North London derby. I will be at that. Do you know what? I'm really nervous about going. I might actually, I don't know, might have actually sell my ticket. I'm just really nervous. Let
me know. You know, I went searching for tickets the other day, and that's the big difference. I looked on all the Europa Cup matches. I think there's about 4 home games. I found 1 ticket, which I had to buy for myself. So I'm going to one of the Europa Cup matches. I can't remember which one it is. I just thought, right, there's one there, I'm buying it. But literally, that was the only ticket available. Is one seat.
I can check in as well myself as well. But yeah, the North London. I don't know if I could sit in the stadium watching that. Flip's sake.
Squeaky bum in it, that one.
Yeah, man. It's just at the best of times, I'm bloody, you know, my blood pressure's kind of, you know, it's just going up. But I don't know. But yeah, it's just, that's a game that for us, we can't lose. Whatever happens, we can't lose. And yeah. Guys, we're going to call it there. It's been an absolute blast, man. Flipping hour, and how quick has that gone? Talking about the perfect away performance. Yeah. That's in the coaching manual. They're going to put a video. They're going to be lazy and put a video in that book. Just say, YouTube, watch this game for the perfect away performance of any team. But yeah, listen. Brentford 0, Arsenal 3.
Top of the league.
Top of the league as well. Flip's sake. Listen, no, I'm not going to ask no more questions because we could go on forever. But listen, we're coming up to what, nearly 10 games, and normally they say after that you have to shake down. So let's see how far we can go and what happens beyond then after that 10-game little shakedown. But guys, Gumza, Brenny, it's been a pleasure having you. And no doubt during the week we'll get into even more breakdown of this game and talk more tactics. But guys, bless.
Peace.